Hello, this is Martin Brossman, and this is a microphone test where I'm going to test out. I'm going to be testing out several microphones and listen to the quality. Right now, I'm speaking on the MacBook. I am connected to my Wi-Fi over 5G in my household network in my studio. A little bit of noise. My wife is working with some papers over here, so we might hear some background, but I want that. And I'm using the built-in microphone to the Mac so you can hear the quality. I'm going to go into the system preferences and take a minute and change the amplitude or the sensitivity of the mic. So just bear with me a second. There we go. So now you're seeing it. Testing 1, 2, 3, and I'm raising it up all the way so you can see what that sounds like. It should have an overdriven effect. Then I'm going to lower it down. I'm sitting right in front. See if you can tell the difference there as well. And you notice how it's trying to auto adjust the volume as I talk. So it's moving up and down on its own. That's just kind of what it does for auto adjusting. I have ambient noise reduction on as well. And so you can hear that. So this is using the built-in microphone on the Mac. Then we're going to plug in the next microphone. So just stick with me. Stop screen sharing. Oops, I want to stop broadcast. Hold on. There we go. I'm back. Hey. So we're going to get the next device. And this is the next mic. One second. I'm back. So this is the next mic. It's a nice USB mic, and it is the, let's see, C03U USB multi-pattern. It has omnidirectional, directional, and figure 8. So I'm going to put it on directional right there. And then it has a low pass cutout off that I'm going to add, and no dB cut. So now I'm going to plug it in. And I'm going to mute the mic a minute while I plug it in, so stand by. Set on my keyboard here facing me. 1 second. Now select the mic. Now I'm saved. Now I'm on this microphone to testing 1, 2, 3, 4 to see what the quality is. And like I said, my wife's next to me and she's just moving, doing some paperwork. And I like to have a little background noise so you can see if you hear it. I am, about a hand's distance away testing it. I'm going to move in and let you hear it. This is up close to see what it's like. And I'm talking a normal voice. This is more of a comfortable distance. Now I'm going to take the low end cutoff and switch it off so you can hear what that would sound like. You probably hear tappings and lower frequencies as well. I'm going to put the negative 10 dB on, which should really attenuate it. Testing 1, 2, 3. You should probably barely hear me at all. Switching that off, putting the other on, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch our little mic here. You should be able to see this. You see that? I'm going to see what it sounds like in omnidirectional. So I've got it in omnidirectional mode and see how that sounds, see what you think of it. That's kind of an omnidirectional, no, I'm sorry, figure eight correction there. Then I'm going to move it over to kind of the circle to see what the sound quality sounds like. This is designed for picking up a circle, and I'm not going to move around. I just want you to get a reference point on it. So this is a sound test of this mic. Let's go back to what I would use for normal one-on-one podcast or recording on YouTube. Again, I want to check the quality of these mics on a YouTube Hangout. So this would complete the test of this mic. So remember this. And if this works well, I might download it and clean up the video a little bit and I'll upload it. But that completes this one. So now I'm going to mute this and get the next microphone. Okay, now wait a second. Let me get. Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, that was embarrassing. Sorry about that. I was rambling away and I had the mic off. So now I'm testing the Audio Technica. See this? Let's see if we can get that so it shows up nice. Audio Technica, and it is the AT 200 some 5 USB. It has a plug-in. You want to be careful with that. It's kind of sensitive. XLR and a headphone right here, jack as well. There's a volume for controlling the headphone to create a zero legacy. I'm going to put it into the mic stand. I'm going to thank Mike Phillips. Turned me on to this one. He's probably one of the people I respect the most in advice on audio, especially podcasting. He's anyway, great guy. But now I'm testing it out. The way he describes it is I'm about the same distance away, kind of pointing into your mouth like a flashlight and checking out and for the sound quality. So I want to see what you think about that and see how you think it compares to the other mics that we've had. This is really good. This type of mic is better at rejecting extra noise. So if you want to interview someone, you could set up 2 of these, maybe with a mixer. That could be a good way to go. And this is, I think I'm giving you a good audio test to see what you think of this mic. Excellent mic. Sometimes goes on sale. Really a good way for people in podcasting getting into something. Pretty good mic, and it's selected on the Mac. When I go into the settings on YouTube, it says AT205 USB. So that's the microphone. So, and I also have it set on voice settings, which I've done the whole time. The other thing is this has a nice profile. You notice how it shows up on the screen. It's not massively overbearing on the screen. So I want to test that one. So that's going to complete this test. We got more mics to go. So again, I'll probably edit this down, but I want to hear all these mics work. So stand by for the next microphone. This is a test. Turn this all the way down. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much nothing, but a little bit of noise. And turn this all the way up. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting right on top of it. Backing off a little bit. See what you think of the sound quality of this. I'm a little concerned this guy's working correctly, but it just doesn't feel solid. So we might check that out with some others. But testing that one out there, this is a test of the broadcast service. Okay, so I'm going to put that on hold now, and I'm going to pause you again, and then we're going to try another mic. There we go. Now we're going. So this is a test of the Samsung Go. You can hear it. It's right down here. So, I'm going to move it over to a similar location to the other mics. Obviously, it's lower on the page. You don't even see it. This is the Samsung Go. See what you think of the quality of it. It has, I'm going to switch it down to a high attenuate. Now it's at a high attenuating. This is the, was it -10? So it brings it down lower. See what you think of that. And then we're going to switch it to the omnidirectional. Now we're in the omnidirectional here. Green, it's getting a lot of peaks here. It's going red on me. Doesn't sound good. And now we'll switch back to the top setting. Okay, this is a test of this microphone. See what this cute little microphone is. See what you think of the quality. So this completes this. This is our little fellow we are listening to today. Okay. And this is a Samsung Go mic. So we got more. I'm not done. Stand by. back off just a little bit. There we go. So if I was talking here, I want you to see what you think about the gain level. I generally think USB and mics just don't, when it comes to YouTube, don't generate enough gain through the USB, and love to hear your views on it. But right now I'm talking to the mic. I should be lining up with my mouth here. Let's get this a little better. Yep, there we are. So talking into it and see what you think of the quality. It is not distorting at this point, at this distance. See what you see of the quality of this. This would be, if we're talking, pointing again about the same distance as the other ones. And love to get your views on this. So we are using the Sennheiser microphone, the 835S, plugged in to the Scarlett 18i in channel 1 and 2. In YouTube land, it will only see channel 1 and 2. So we're going to then go to a suggestion that Mike Phillips gave of how to see multiple settings on this as our next move, and test that out next. So testing 1, 2, 3 with this. I want to check with another mic next, so hang on. Our next mic to test with this is going to be a Phantom Power mic we have, and it is the Shure MS93 with a omnidirectional microphone. See this little omnidirectional microphone? And it's got a big ball on it, but there's a tiny little mic in there. See the little connector here? And then see this? That's the Shure. Let's get it so you can read it. See that? 93 MS93. And be careful, these have little pins here. I'm going to put this in. Carefully put this in here. There we go. So we're going to plug that in so we have that. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Take this mic out. I'm adding phantom power. Now I'm turning it all the way up. It should sound pretty distorted right now, and then back off just a tad. Now, from what I understand through the engineers, this is backed off a little bit, and I want to see what you think of the quality of this, the audio quality of this, because this is going through. This is the Shure lavalier. Very nice if you have a group of people, but again, the challenge is we can only use line 1 and 2 here because 3 and 4 will not be seen by Google Hangout on air. So that gives us a challenge. I sat down with Mike and we're trying to experiment with things. But I want you to hear the quality comparing those two microphones now. See what you think of it. This is a test. I'm going to crank it up a little more so it starts, that's red, so that should sound distorted now. And then crack that back just so it doesn't peak out, distorted, and see what you think of the quality, the audio quality of this compared to some of our others. This is the next test. Now we're going to move to something interesting. And this was, we have the problem with this unit in that we have 4 beautiful lines coming out, going right into the USB, and on the 4 lines, there are 4 hardware lines, and guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4, YouTube Hangout only sees 1 and 2. So if we want to mic 4 people with these types of a mic like this, how are we going to get it so 2 will occur? Well, we could take the output of this, put it into another mixer like this. This would be 2 in, and then have that come in. It's kind of a little kludgy. We could sell this and get the next level and have the output loop back into channel 1 and kind of let it be its own mixer. That's what the engineers suggested, which I think is pretty lame. And then Mike had in his box of tools here this little I unit, and this unit is designed to output a USB, input we're going to take the audio out from this mixer unit, the sound card mixer, which is a little unusual, but we're trying something out, and we're going to disconnect the USB here. So we aren't using its own sound card to USB here, but using its sound card to audio out, and then see what it sounds like and move from one channel to see if we can do the other. See right now I'm going to take phantom power out and watch. I'm going to move to channel 2. So now I'm on phantom power on channel 2, and you notice you still hear me. Okay, now watch what happens. Turn off phantom power, let it capacitor kind of dissipate. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to I'm using the built-in microphone, so I explain. So what I did is channel 1 and 2, you could hear me still. Channel 3 and 4, you couldn't hear me. Now we're going to make this adjustment. So I'm going to turn off the unit. I like to have things off when I unplug them best I can. Unplug the Scarlett. Take this little device, I should say, an iDevice. I'll get the readout when I plug it in. Thank you, Mike. Want to play with us? Thank you, Mike. All right. Then we're going to take these two outputs, and plug that in here. Now, I've got it plugged in. Turn it on. You're still hearing me over the built-in mic, so we can talk. The Scarlett. I've got the Scarlett in, wired up, microphone. Now we're going to switch over, and what we're seeing here is iMic USB. iMic USB. So we're going. Now I'm on the iMic USB. Now this is sort of interesting here. The iMic USB is coming in here, going out through the output on the device of the Scarlett. The output. Now let's see if I can show you some of that. See that? Through the output cable there. So this guy we're not using anymore. Going through the output, this is just one explored way to get all 4 people in and use this nice box. I really wish the Scarlett people would pay attention to the podcast world instead of and say, hey, if we make a few changes and some improvements, like maybe take Mike Phillips' advice, we could open up a whole new market. But, you know, engineers are slow to change, but I still like this. So can you hear me now? So now I'm going to adjust the monitor volume. And turn it way down. Now I turn it up, hear something, and then I turn it way up here, it's up, and so I can get the volume up. I'm going to turn this to distortion and back off a little bit. I got the monitor volume pretty high up, almost near the top. You can now it's all the way up on the monitor. Tell me what you think of the volume. Turn it down a little bit and see what the volume sounds there. Then we're going to start going from channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. So stick with me on this. So I need to turn the phantom power off, which will make it quiet for a minute for you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now I am speaking. Let's back that off just a little bit. I am speaking on channel 2. Channel 2 right now. See what you think of this. I've got the monitor volume almost all the way up. They claim it can handle that. I'm on channel 2. So now what we've proven is channel 2 will work. I'm going to take phantom power off and I'm going to move it to channel 3. Now I am on channel 3. Pretty cool, because now, because it's coming out that way, it's coming in this way on channel 3. So that means we can have 3 mics. So that'd be Greg, me, and Elise all on lavaliers if we want them in a room going to YouTube. And welcome some other ideas, but really want to thank Mike for spending the time to at least try this out, because the Scarlett support was nice, but they need to learn there's a world called podcasting and Google Hangouts. Hello, Scarlett guys, and maybe make the effort to see if they can open up another market and not just think musicians here. So here's this one. Now I'm going to take it off and go to 4. Putting phantom power on. What I turn is apparently up. I've got the other, and now what I've proven is channel 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming out of here, going in through this device into the unit, lets us hear what's going on, which is kind of cool and pretty interesting. I have one more activity to try. I have borrowed something else from somebody, and it is another mixer. We're going to try that out. So if you still haven't completely lost your mind, but what we've proven now is that we can go live testing 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have to test it. So I'm going to say this is wide open test, talking, and then this is about probably about 6 o'clock. This is about 3 o'clock. See what that sounds, how it adjusts. And this is about 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on the monitor setting with this device. So checking out the audio. The other gain I've got, I turn it all the way to distort and then back it off just so the red stops blinking. That's where I put that. And so I'm going to move this from 2 o'clock, and that's 12 o'clock. See what you think with that? 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, say 4. I'm sorry, I would correct when I said 6, it was 4. Getting tired today, and then 6 would be is almost straight down, but probably about 4 o'clock was the first setting I had. So correct that, 4 o'clock. All right, now we're going to test out another mixer in here. So stand by. I'll mute you a minute. Can you hear me now? Okay, there we go. So now we have phantom power coming out of this guy, and it is phantom power coming out, and it is we've got the volume here at, I'm going to put it about straight up, and it's interesting, this has a gain here for the USB, so I'm going to turn that up and see what happens. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So let's try what that does. Hello, testing 1 2 3 4. Oh, it muted us. Testing 1 2 3 4. It just went, what is going on here? Testing 1 2 3 4. Compressor equalization here. We're testing. We're turning some stuff up. Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. See what we got there. Turn this up. Now it says it's distorting overdriven. Turn that back a little bit. And let's see what happens when I adjust this. So this little guy has phantom power on only one connector. Cute little thing, but I'm just playing with it a little bit. Now it should be, oh, it looks like it's badly distorting. Let's turn this back. Testing 1 2 3. Put a little compression on. I don't want to put effects on. That might get creepy here. And so it's a cymbal mic. We have monitor, we have speakers, testing 1 2 3 4. See what you think of the volume level. Now USB, trying to turn the USB down, see if you hear anything. Is a little computer USB, then turn that, crank it all the way up. See if you hear anything. Testing 1 2 3 4, turned up to 10. Turning it all the way down, see if that makes any difference in the quality of this. So can you hear me now with this? This is the lavalier into this little mixer and see what it sounds like. If the quality sounds better or different. Just another way to get audio in. This is the Yamaha AG06 that I've got borrowed here. Let me take the compressor off and see what it sounds like. Again, looks like that should be badly overdriving. Let's back that off and turn it here. Testing 1 2 3 4, and I don't see any difference turning up the USB or turning it down. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. Don't see any difference. All right, let's get back to the main audience here. Now we're back to the good old audio of just me with one more mic to try. One more mic. See what you think of in this test. This is the last mic. This is a little blue microphone that I've had for quite a while. Cute little thing. Actually has a little camera there too. Nice little mic. And see what it sounds like. Little like this, and we'll plug this guy in. All right, and then we're about to wrap up. I'm going to unplug. Okay. This is the Blue Eyeball 2.0. Blue Eyeball 2.0. Final test of this mic. Cute little thing here. Can sit on the top or sit on a table and point towards people. See what you think of the audio quality of this. Love to hear it. We've tried just a large assortment of different things. I'll probably take this and download it and tighten it up a little bit. But this concludes my audio test. See what you think. And I'd love to hear your comments below. Just took some time, borrowed some things, and took some time to finally hear how it sounds on Hangout on Air. And again, to let you know, we're going through DP-Link 5 gig wireless over my home system. I decided to test it over that and see what the audio sounds like. I'm moving away from the mic, so I'm not being fair to this little mic. So, hello, little mic. Thanks very much. Give me your comments below. Again, this was just, I took some time to test some things. Have a great day. This is Martin Brossman.